on a magnificent Friday evening. How's everyone doing? It's the Teddy Bear and welcome to Traxx Radio. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and allowing the Teddy Bear help you to tune out all the negativity as we get lost in Blueprint soulful music. And speaking of soulful music, legendary singer, songwriter, businessman, icon, Lord have mercy, the original soul man, Mr. William Bell, joining us this evening as we get knee-deep in his new album, One Day Closer to Home. So on behalf of Traxx Radio and the Teddy Bear, it is my honor to welcome the legendary Mr. William Bell. Brother Bell, how are you doing this evening?
I am wonderful, Teddy Bear. I am wonderful.
It is an honor to have you on the show. My goodness, growing up listening to you, and I can't believe that you're here today. Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on One Day Closer to Home, my man. You did a phenomenal job.
Thank you, man, and thanks for having me, man. Yes, this is quite an honor for me.
No, the honor is truly ours. I gotta ask, you are an exceptional songwriter, but what I wanted to ask, everybody just can't pick up a pen and write a song or create a melody for other artists. How were you able to connect with other artists in a manner where you're able to basically delve into their emotions and make that song that you created and you make it their own?
Well, I'm number one, I'm a people watcher, and I've lived long enough to have all kinds of experiences in life. And I create and I try to write honestly and truthfully about whatever the subject matter is. And I've been just fortunate that a lot of people can identify with what I write about. So I guess it's that human factor that everybody goes through.
Well, let me ask you. I want to expand a little further. When you mentioned the human factor, whatever happened to the human factor in today's music? Because it seems in the 40s, 50s, 60s, even in the 70s, there was a human element of connection through the music when it talked about communication, love, transparency, bringing people together. Every song just had raw emotion. And somewhere along the lines, we've lost that. And I wanted your input on that because you've been around this industry for a very long time. So what do you think happened along the way?
Well, a couple of things I think is happening now. One is the political situation, and it's the times that we're living in with all kinds of problems with the floods, the weather, and everything else, and people are just uptight. And what they have to do is realize that we're all in this together, so we have to step back and take a deep breath and learn to help each other instead of just getting out and just trying to destroy one another.
I mean, because everywhere I look around, there's nothing positive. Everything is negative, very misogynistic as far as towards women are concerned. I'm seeing a lot of females not acting like women. It's just very, very disheartening because I grew up in the era of music, listening to you and other greats like Otis Redding, Booker T, and I'm listening to this music. It was just raw emotion. Every time I hear an Otis Redding song, I basically try to tenderness, but I got dreams to remember. When I hear songs, when I hear songs like that, it does something to me. When I listen to you sing, it just does something to me, and it's really, really missing. Really, is there anything that you feel from a businessman perspective that can do something to change this?
Yeah, I think it's an artist, whether you're a recording artist or whether you're an athlete or whatever it is, whatever that you're doing, it's important to have a positive attitude about it and project positivity to people. There's enough negativity going on without us looking for it. So and it seems like now there's no communication. Everybody's into the modern thing and the AI and the computer world, and they deal with friends on Facebook that you've never seen before. But I think that it's raw communication between people is missing, and because that way, if you talk to a person, you can have empathy for a person or for whatever they're going through, or sometimes talking is all that's needed between two people to realize that, okay, that conversation really helped me, or we're dealing with the same thing, let's see if we can find a solution for it.
A great American poet once said, "Let's make love great again. Lord have mercy."
Yeah, absolutely.
You mentioned...
And I think when people do that, if people do that, I think the world, I know, would be a better place. And we learn to listen to a human voice or a human touch or something like that instead of just communicating by text or on your phone or on your computer or whatever. Technology is great, but don't let it take over just ordinary communication between one individual to another.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible to me. I mean, and I want to also ask you, what was the first thing that came to your mind when you started seeing music stores just disappearing, closing down, where people like me, devoted music lovers, were unable to go to music stores, to the mom and pop record stores in the community anymore and buy vinyl? What was the first thing that came to your mind when you started seeing that tape transpire?
Well, I think between me and you, I saw it coming, because when you go to big corporations, everything becomes the bottom line, a number in that computer or a number in that book. And you forget there's a human aspect behind that song or behind that communication letter or whatever it is. And going to a record store, being able to physically thumb through a series of recordings, going to a booth and listening to them, but they systematically cut that out, and it's done for big corporate reasons, because they want to cut out having to pay out money to individuals. So we'll make everything on automation, less talk, more music, and from the start with the radio stations, they got rid of the promotion in at record companies. So I saw this coming, and it's a shame that we sat back and let that develop in such a way that we became just really complacent about it. We didn't really care. Okay, so you don't do album covers, you just do a video or a CD now, and so it's so impersonal. But it's nothing like going out and meeting your fan base, meeting the people in the industry that support you, because none of us do this on our own. It's community involvement in the entertainment industry.
Without question. I remember one of the first albums that I ever purchased was by Dobie Gray. And the album cover, the artwork, the liner notes, it was something so special and unique to be able to know if you go out and cut grass as a youngster and do chores, you can earn enough money to go to the neighborhood record store and buy vinyl, buy a 45, a 33, a 75, and they've taken that away from us. But then I flip it over when you go outside of the United States to Japan, Germany, Switzerland, they still have record stores. And artists like yourself, they're revered over there.
Yeah, and any artistic thing, whether it's a painting, whatever it is, if you've done anything, if you had to hit record 20 years ago, they revere you. But everything now with us is current. You know, we can't wait to be super success. We can't wait to do all of this. And the thing about life is, you think about future. Nobody has